I'm Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams.
Previously on Dungeons and Dracon Beams. Accessing log Z1845 of the Pemelite database. Submitted by codename Eric, current station in the Milky Way galaxy, Orion Arm, third planet in the solar system, colloquially called Earth. With a flicker of digital recording, the scene appears. Crystal clear, it's about 1.5 meters off the ground. The scene is quiet enough. Rows of soldiers kneel, guns at the ready, trained on metal doors. A human in modified armor yells, though the sound is muted through the thick glass doors. They are marching in front of the soldiers. In the wings sit Hork-Bajir of various ranks, large bladed goblin creatures with T-Rex feet, padding around, looking unnaturally like predators. Dialogue boxes pop up momentarily, offering full files of information collected by the Chi on the humans, and then the Hork-Bajir, the armor, the weapons. They disappear from the file as the items do. For a breath, everything is still, and then the metal doors begin to slide open. The camera view focuses in, there's a flash of a wrist blade, and then lower a 7-finger blue-furred hand. Another dialogue box pops up offering information on the Andalites. Then, an explosion tears through the ranks of human controllers, and with a hiss, the seed pod rolls out. Another dialogue box pops up offering information on Hork-Bajir native plant species. Then the room is obfuscated by a blinding light. The camera adjusts in milliseconds where the eyes of a human and Hork-Bajir could not. A barrel rolls from the now fully opened elevator doors, plowing into bodies of human controllers, dead or alive. A polar bear begins lumbering out. More dialogue boxes flash up, regarding information about the megafauna of a planet called Earth. A squirrel, dialogue box pop-up, is clutched to his stomach as he runs, and then the squirrel begins to flash bright red. More precisely, a small string of round crystals wrapped around the squirrel. This is a Pemelite crystal. It continues to blink on the recording as an object of importance, as an Andalite gorilla and Hork-Bajir pile out of the elevator, jumping into the fight. The polar bear immediately surrounded by Hork-Bajir. They begin slashing and cutting red swaths that glisten grotesquely against clean white fur. The squirrel takes off, bolting towards the camera as the polar bear is cut down. In the center of the room, gorilla and Andalite begin to fight their way through, more Hork-Bajir descending down on them. The Hork-Bajir that was in the elevator is identifiable only by the others surrounding and attacking it, identifying it as not one of them. A dialogue box pops up giving the sliding percentages on the probability of these being Andalites and Morph. It goes from 90% down to 0% as Eric's internal knowledge is applied, and then a new box showing humans and Morph pops up, sliding between 50% and 97%. The Hork-Bajir slice through the Andalite and she falls. They fully surround the interloping Hork-Bajir, and they fall. The gorilla scoops up the Andalite like a small child and throws a globule of something that is identified quickly by another dialogue box as Hork-Bajir Homeworld Salve. When it hits the Hork-Bajir interloper, they pop up for just one moment. Around the same time, the polar bear, abandoned in its lifelessness, stirs and lumbers to its feet. Chance of survival goes up to 4%. The Hork-Bajir that was just revived gets slashed down again, and then a blade tears through the gorilla, leaving a gaping wound, the blood pouring out in rivulets onto the floor. One Hork-Bajir about to slash down at the gorilla, slumping to the floor, only misses as it slips in the pool of blood beneath those giant T-Rex feet. The camera refocuses as a small chatter comes from the door, the squirrel. It pushes with its small rodent hands to no avail, but behind it looms the massive body of a Hork-Bajir, so much bigger than this tiny little rodent. The squirrel turns and seems to communicate somehow with this beast because it picks up speed and angrily launches at the tiny little body and smash. The glass is no longer a barrier. The squirrel hands the crystal to the host of the camera, and the probability of a human and Morph rises to 98%. Then a ripple. The recording freezes and blinks out and reboots. All faster than a human could comprehend, but not faster than the eternity it seems to be for the Chi. Through the lens of Eric, the one recording this, we see the destruction. Ivory and steel cutting through the bodies of Hork-Bajir as if they are nothing more than wet tissue, the organs catching for a moment on dog-like hands before the entrails snap like spider silk. The bladed skull of the creatures folding like sugar glass under his hands. the brain spilling out, showing the flattened Yeerk writhing in its painful death throes, the sound of rib cages snapping as they are crushed. All faster than anything other than the most powerful android in the known world could comprehend. A needle unfolded from the internal components of the Kanon robot and shoots into the body still on the floor. The camera looks up for a moment to see the polar bear, survival rate now reading 75%, as it limps its way to the exit, squirrel on its back. Then the gorilla, Andalite, and Hork-Bajir are gathered, and the camera cuts to black. This recording could not capture the emotions running through Eric's body, but the actions taken today can be pulled and viewed by any of the Chi at any time. This choice has forever altered the trajectory of this species.
My name's Kamren.
My name is Zach.
My name is Savannah.
My name is Aximili Escaruth Estil.
My name is Dylan.
What's worse than homework, parents, and acne?
Betrayal.
War.
Murder.
Brussels sprouts.
Doing it all while trying to stop an alien invasion.
Duh.
Aliens that crawl into your ear and take over your brain.
Mimicking your every thought. Reliving all your memories.
Living life as you would. Flawlessly deceiving your friends, your family, pretending to be you.
I'd rather die.
Stay on script.
What's even worse?
Mr. Statoric.
The only thing that stands in the way of complete takeover of all humanity is 4 teenagers and an Andalite.
I am the Andalite.
Yeah, you're the Andalite.
We also have the ability to morph.
It's amazing.
An Andalite technology.
Stay on script. The ability to...
Right. The ability to turn into any animal we can touch.
Lions.
Tigers.
Orangutans.
We must be extremely cautious. We can't trust anyone, thanks to my...
Kamren.
Okay, you read it then.
Fine. We can't trust anyone. Controller or not.
We have seen what happens when we are too trusting.
So now, there's only us.
Only us.
Only us.
Only us.
Because anyone could be compromised. Anyone at all, can be a controller.
Yeah, dude. Even you.
Savannah and Dylan. As your eyes start to open and you start to regain some consciousness, you feel movement. You feel that you're in a vehicle of some sort driving. And as your vision starts to come back, you look around, you see a blood-soaked human Kamren who is now demorphed. You see Zach sitting in a seat, demorphed. You hear a sobbing coming from the front of the vehicle that you're in. And yeah, you guys basically see that. And you hear something from behind you guys as you're waking up.
Dylan is going to look around and place where Savannah is. Make sure that she sees Savannah.
Yeah, you two are next to each other.
Yeah, she reaches over and grabs her hand.
Savannah will grab her hand back, but she's looking around too at everybody, seeing Cameron's up, seeing Zach's there. She's looking for Matea.
And that's the stirring that's behind you as Matea's starting to move.
And then she'll look at Kamren and Zach and be like, what happened?
Kamren, you see, he's still covered in blood. He's just like looking down, his eyes wide, and every now and then, like off of his nose, just a drop of blood will drop to the ground.
She's looking to see if that's his or he's just coated in blood.
First, you have like a panic look, just seeing him covered, and then you kind of look around and see he doesn't have any wounds open, and you figure he must have demorphed, so this just probably isn't his blood.
In answer to Savannah's question, Zach's just gonna, he's not looking up. He's still just kind of staring ahead, kind of middle distance downward, and just kind of goes, we lived.
She's going to look up into the front seat now and see who's crying.
This is a military vehicle, so like the front part of the cab of the this truck that you are basically in, a covered truck.
Okay, so it's cut off from the front.
Yep, he can hear you. There's like a metal grate that he can hear. But you see Xander driving, and you realize that he must be making his hologram cry because there's tears rolling down his face.
Savannah's going to start demorphing.
Yeah, as soon as Dylan sees Savannah demorphing, she's gonna start doing so as well.
Kamren pretty much stays silent.
Zach does too. Unless anybody asks him a direct question.
Mateo will ask Zach, did we get the crystal out?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, Xander has it now.
Do you know where Xander is taking us?
The Chi warehouse.
I'm gonna vote no on the mission to windsurf tonight.
Kamren looks up at it, but doesn't nod or shake his head, just looks at you for a second. And if you guys don't do anything, eventually you feel the car slow down, hear a door or something open on the outside, the car moves again, and then it stops, and Xander gets out.
And what does Xander do when he gets out of the car?
Well, you guys are in the back, so
doesn't open the back. Okay, Savannah's gonna get out of the car. That's all I was waiting to see. Are we fucking prisoners? Are we like, what's the sitch?
okay.
Sorry, Matt Mercer.
A second later, the back of the truck opens. Craig's there. Xander's not.
Yeah, just kind of like not knowing where we are. Yeah, Savannah will hop out of the back of the car.
Zach gets out.
Yeah, bro, we get out.
And as everybody gets out, there is another Andalite in this room, Aximili, who stands near another van, the van that you guys have seen before that the Chi have. The van's back doors are open, and inside you guys can see a tarp covering what looks like a body.
Can we look?
Yeah, just tell me what you want to do.
I want to see what the fuck is going on with the body.
Mateo follows you over there. All right, so you go over and you take the tarp off the body. It's a Hork-Bajir, a little bit chubbier and stockier than normal with yellow tinted scales. And as Mateo sees this, she looks at Aximili. He looks back at her, and she just runs over and hugs him.
I think Savannah's going to, like, seeing that interaction going on, there's a known quantity that they are going to have to soon figure out what to do with the Hork-Bajir, but that is Matea's thing in the moment, and she and Aximili are having a moment, so I think she's going to back off and go try to find Xander.
After Craig has kind of let you all out and let you guys do your thing, you see that he went over to Xander, who's at like a little workstation off in the corner. And you see that they're both looking at this crystal. Xander's still crying from his hologram. Craig does put like a hand on his shoulder trying to comfort him. And Craig touches the crystal.
She's going to walk over there and she's going to say, first of all to Xander, like look him full in his crying face and just be like, thank you, you saved our lives.
He like does the thing where he's like sniffling still, but looks at you and kind of nods. And that's kind of as Craig comes out of his thing. He's still holding the crystal, but Xander kind of nods at you.
How many of these did you make? How many Pemalite crystals are there?
There are 3 on Earth, including this one.
I think we know where another one is.
He kind of looks at you at that. And he doesn't say anything as he's still sobbing, but Craig will say, where?
I think potentially we've got another one of these in our possession. We have it at one of the 2 locations where we keep things secured. I can't remember which right now.
Craig will look back to Xander, and Xander, who will kind of compose himself. They are immensely powerful. What they do for us is allow us to reprogram ourselves, Pemalite ships. In your hands, humanity's hands, they could be used to do great good or great evil. And he thinks for a second. He'll take the crystal back from Craig, and you see his eyes flash white again. They stop, and he looks to you, hands the crystal to you.
She'll take it, but it's not with a look of like, oh, yay. It's like, fuck.
He looks to you. That was horrible. I'll never be able to forget that. He looks down. I've reprogrammed myself to not be able to kill. However, I won't continue to sit on the sidelines of this war. I'll never do harm to an innocent bystander, someone that can't control whether or not they're in this war. The ones that can, I think that I can justify inflicting them harm. And as he says that, like, Craig like looks at him, but you know Craig has also done a reprogramming, and he'll look to Savannah and he'll say, only when I deem it necessary, only to voluntary controllers or to Yeerks. That's how I'll aid you. But I can't just go in and slaughter like I did.
So Savannah's face is just getting more and more like stony, like removing her expression almost. As soon as they kind of finish and then say what they are willing and not willing to do, Savannah is going to just kind of hold her hand out to Craig and say, Visser Three.
He'll look to you and look back to Xander. Give me an insight check on these robots. Anybody can that's like paying attention to this conversation.
22.
The 22 will do it. The way that Craig starts talking about what he's about to talk about, you can kind of tell that he wasn't there. Like, you know, you didn't see him. He wasn't there. You didn't see what happened, but they must have some kind of shared memory core or something like that, because he's describing this like he's seen it. And he'll hear you, but kind of like look back to Xander. You're a hypocrite. You're corrupt. And he'll like keep staring at Xander as Xander moves his attention to him. What you did to innocent people goes against everything that the Pamelites were. I thought that I could do this. But after seeing what you did, I don't want that. I don't want those feelings. I don't want to remember them. And I don't want any of the chi to be a part of that. And he looks to Xander. I won't let you hurt anyone else. And then he looks to you. I can't do this. I cannot give you this, Yeerk, because you will kill it. And while my programming will allow me, I don't believe that this was our intention anymore. Seeing how the violence happened. He looks back to Craig. Change me back.
Dylan, while he's doing this, Dylan is gonna run forward, and she's just like, you can see silent tears streaming down her face, and she's just gonna, I know it's gonna hurt. She knows it's gonna hurt, but she's gonna just like start punching him and pummeling him, and just, she's like losing it. She's like, you weren't there. You don't know. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah, as you hit him, he just kind of lets you. He shakes his head at you, though.
Savannah's gonna double down though on that. She's not like crying. It's coming out as anger, and you can see it. You can understand what happened, and you saw us get taken down by all those Hork-Bajir. You saw us. We all almost died to get you those crystals.
And Xander had the power to not kill, but he chose to. He is corrupt.
We all have the power to not kill. And many people are choosing to not use that. Against us, primarily.
This is not the wish of the Pemelites. I am sorry, but we cannot compromise ourselves for the humans.
You don't speak for everyone.
Zach's gonna get up. He was like sitting on a chair, kind of spacing out or whatever, but listening. And he just kind of stands up and walks over to Craig and goes, nobody's choosing this. I don't know what you're fucking talking about, man. We don't want to do this either. We're not doing this because we're having a great time. But you are choosing to let us continue to do it with our limited resources and capabilities. So, I mean, ultimately, this is going to start to be on you now, because you now have the capability to do something to make it better. And by choosing not to do that, you're the piece of shit that's choosing to let the most violence occur.
And Xander looks at Craig and says, he is right. Craig shakes his head. That is his opinion.
No, it's fucking objective, you dipshit. You're a robot. Calculate.
I mean, he doesn't say anything back to that, but he seems stern. I would like to be changed back.
That's your choice. What a choice.
Dylan's just going to look at him and she's going to say, Xander and I chose to kill today. But you're choosing to let people that you could help die. And she's just going to walk away.
He doesn't really try to argue his position about it. As you all look at him, when it comes to Xander, his hologram is stone-faced. Like, he's kind of mad at Xander. But when it comes to you all, when you're talking to him, he does, like, his hologram shows, like, empathy. Like, he feels for you all. It's like he's sad, but he still believes he's right. He just doesn't want you all to hurt.
You need the crystals to be changed back?
I do.
Give us Visser Three, and I'll give the crystals to Xander to change you back.
Savannah, roll me a persuasion check with advantage. After a long time just staring at you, you see Craig's holographic green eyes watch you as he thinks this over. And then the hologram drops. And then the chest of this robotic bipedal canine opens up. And on this metallic plate that extends forward, you see a gray blob of Yeerk.
Savannah would grab the Yeerk immediately because there is a very strict time limit on what's about to happen. And it's very much grabbing the Yeerk, turning to Aximili. She has to walk a few steps, handing him to Aximili quickly. Everything she's doing is saying quickly because she has to give the crystals over. That's the only reason why, is because this very fast time limit, and Aximili needs his moment.
As you say quickly, he looks at you and he says, "You have no more use for this Yeerk, Prince Savannah."
I don't even think that matters to her at this moment. It's more important that Aximili gets his moment.
He takes the Yeerk from you, tosses it onto the ground, and it just... He looks down at it with all four eyes, and the eyes are just burning as they stare at Visser Three. Visser Three, you have committed countless atrocities across multiple galaxies. You have caused the death and infestation of millions of beings. However, the gravest mistake you ever made was killing my brother, Elfangor Sirenal Shamtul. Now you die by my blade. No host, no sound, no sight, no honor. Thwack! Aximili raises his head to the sky, looks up at the ceiling, and turns away from the Yeerk back to his prince and nods. Private thought speak. Thank you, Prince Savannah. And you see his eyes still burn.
And she will fulfill her end of the bargain and turn back to Craig with the crystals.
And Craig's hologram's eyes are wide as he sees what just happened in front of him. And as you hand him the crystal, he takes it, stares mouth agape for a second, and then you see the eyes just a second later, he hands it back to you.
As soon as Alex sees that his eyes have come back online, he looks at him and says, "We are children, and you're a coward." And then he turns away.
Xander will walk over to Savannah. And this is away from everybody. He's trying to not let people hear this. Actually, you all hear the sound of them talking just muffle a little bit. I could not tell you this before because of my programming. But I know where the Kendrona is. I've pulled as many guards as I can without being too suspicious. Tonight, they are all going to meet Visser 11. It will be a skeleton crew.
How many?
At most, 6 Hork-Bajir guarding the Kendrona, 3 humans. He looks to Craig, who is still he's actually working on something else right now. I'm afraid Craig may have deceived you all a little bit. And this may be my fault as well. He did not change his programming all the way back. He can still commit violence against me. And he can't kill anyone. He hasn't made his program where he could kill anyone. But he can assist with a mission if you all would be willing to take him. I would send him with you.
Willing to take him with us on the mission tonight?
Yes. I understand that after all that just happened, he is not your all's favorite being. And even though he won't kill, he won't go as far as Xander stops for a second. He won't alter his programming the same way that I have. He does still oppose the Yeerks, and I believe that he will go with you. He won't kill anyone, but I'm sure that if you get him close enough to the Kendrona that he can destroy it.
Would he?
I believe so.
Knowing how many Yeerks that will kill?
As I said, he opposes the Yeerks, and as you may have noticed by now, the Chi have subtle ways of being able to skirt around their programming. As if I didn't hear your plans before, I could ignore them and let you all do what you wanted to do. Even though I had this is the first time you see any inkling of a smile, even though I had kind of an idea of some of the things that you were going to do. I also understand that you all have been through a great deal tonight, so do not feel any pressure to do this. I just would have regretted if I didn't tell you the opportunities that you had.
Where is it?
The Windsurf Luxury Hotel.
6 Hork-Bajir max, 3 people?
6 Hork-Bajir max guarding the Kendrona, 3 people guarding with them. There are other controllers in that building. However, they're not soldiers. They are infiltrators. They are just people that are controllers of regular foot troops of the Yeerks that infest people that aren't of power just to grow their numbers. But yes, defending that room, the Kendrona, 6 Hork-Bajirs max. And that's all if they're all in that room at that time.
And if I asked you to come with us and act as a shield for us?
If that is what you ask of me, then I would do it. However, I'm supposed to be greeting Visser 11 right now. If I don't get back, it will blow our cover.
And that's why you're offering up Craig.
Right. Or I would go myself, but this was part of your plan as well.
I need to talk to the rest of the team.
You don't have a lot of time, but a few minutes.
A few minutes.
He nods. That silence cone will kind of follow you.
Yeah, she'll walk up to the rest of the team, and if anybody's like Maitea's still further off or whatever, she'll, call out to her, gesture out to her, whatever.
Yeah, Dylan didn't stop. She walked away, away.
Where did she go?
She was just following the road. She's just going away.
So yeah, as you are walking towards the door of this warehouse that you all are in, if you go out, Mateo will follow you to the door, and then once you go out, she'll start to morph, and that's about the time Savannah sees this.
How far can I get?
I would say this was about 2 or 3 minutes. You can get out back to the road and start walking down the road.
If I'm beyond where people can see me, then I think Dylan is just going to, she's going to keep walking and walking and walking. And then at some point, she sits down with her knees pulled up to her chest and her arms crossed over it. Just head down. In the dirt.
Savannah, about the time Matea finishes her morph is when you've got done with your conversation. And she is human, but she's in this little tank top, these short shorts, no shoes, but she's gonna walk with you if you go out there.
Yeah, she's gonna go out there.
Zach was, when he walked away from Craig, would have probably started for the same door that Dylan left from, having noticed that Dylan left, but would have waited for Savannah to finish her conversation. Once Savannah is clearly breaking away, Zach goes out the door. So he's outside, but not as far away as Dylan.
After that, and you see Savannah walking up, you kind of go out, and Dylan's over there, curled up, head in the dirt.
I think as Savannah's walking out, she's looking at Kamren, Aximili, Maitea. If Zach is still in there, she'll look at Zach and be like, we all have to have a conversation. I'll go get Dylan. And she'll walk out. If Maitea is joining her, then Maitea is joining her. But that's just what she's saying on the way out, so that they know, she's not leaving them in the wind of what's happening next.
Kamren just nods as you all go, but he's still covered in blood, so he's starting to wipe stuff off.
Zach turns around. I'll say he was halfway out the door when Van started talking, and just kind of shrugs and goes back over towards Kamren. I'll look around. This is a warehouse. Do they have those safety showers or anything here?
Yeah, they do.
He'll lead Kamren over towards one.
He'll walk over there and start to try to get this.
Pull this.
Yeah. And as Savannah goes outside, Matea's following, but she's staying a little bit away. She's waiting. She's trying to give Dylan a little bit of space, but also wants to be out here if she needs her.
I think Savannah's gonna walk up to Dylan, and I don't think she's going to immediately reach out or anything, but she's just going to sit down next to her and not say anything.
After a few seconds have passed, Dylan is going to just slowly pull her head up and wipe her face with her arm. And just still lay her head back down on her knees and just turn her head and look at Savannah and just say, I'm sorry.
For what?
Not being stronger, I guess.
I don't understand what you mean.
I don't know. Everybody went through that, and here I am having a moment about it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we've all had our moments. She's just going to keep sitting quietly next to Dylan, letting Dylan kind of lead what happens next.
I think after a moment of Dylan just sitting there, sort of staring blankly, she'll look at Savannah, and she just has this, like, it's not a pout, right? But it's just like her eyebrows are a little scrunched. And she looks like she has just been crying, obviously. And it's just that look on her face. And she just sort of shakes her head back and forth, and she says, okay, so what's next?
Well, let's go back inside because we have another conversation to have.
Okay. And she starts to stand up.
Savannah will stand up with her, and I think she's going to hesitate for a second and look unsure of herself. But as they're kind of standing to go walk in, she'll hold up, like offer her hand to Dylan to hold her hand.
She takes it.
Rejoin the group inside, I guess. Unless, a Yeerk ship hits and explodes in front of them or some shit like that.
37 Hork-Bajir show up all of a sudden.
You guys turn around and you see Matea was just kind of standing, or like watching, not saying anything. But as you guys start to move back, she doesn't smile with her lips. But Dylan, you notice that she smiles with her eyes, and her human morph. One of them is Savannah's, one of them is yours, and they just get that Andalite smile look, and she just kind of like shoulder bumps you as she walks with you all.
When she does that, though, Dylan is gonna just smirk and bump her back a little and just keep walking.
So I did canonically roll perception and insight for Zach to notice the hand holding when they come back and to figure out what that means. And I don't think with a 7, I think Zach still doesn't understand what's happening.
Yeah, you see them holding hands as they unless you all unlock hands before you get back in, that's up to you all. But
that is a plausible thing that could have happened.
If you all don't.
No, Dylan is holding that hand like it's a lifeline. Like it's the thing that is tethering her to the ground right now.
Yeah, Zach is trying to figure out why. Are you scared? It's like a horror thing? Like a horror movie?
Is this an alien thing that you're
Yeah.
being a part of right now?
I don't get what's going on. I'm wondering if Zach is just so homophobic and just does not understand that people could have same-sex relationships or something. Because I'm like, how could you not get what's going on?
He's so blind to everything.
He's stupid.
But is it that, or is it more that he's never known Savannah to like anyone?
That's very, very plausible, actually, because I don't think he ever knew about any previous relationships. Anyway, Zach sees that happening and goes, weird. As he leads a soaking wet Kamren out of the safety shower.
Yep.
Hey, does Kamren notice?
I don't think so. Cameron's not even looking for anything right now. He's just kind of looking down, and where the blood was once dripping from his nose onto the ground, now it's just water.
Once they all gather back in this warehouse and they are all together, Savannah's just going to immediately launch into. So we have an opportunity tonight at the windsurf. That's where the Kendrona is. And Xander has been able to get a skeleton crew there. So 6 Hork-Bajir at most, 3 humans at most that are guarding the Kendrona. Not that are in the building, but that are guarding it. And they may not all be in the room at the same time. So we have an opportunity to go and try and destroy this Kendrona ray. But it's a vote. It's between all of us. We are deciding together.
I'm in.
We have to go tonight, is the unfortunate part of this.
Zach shrugs. I mean, you probably wouldn't need an insight check to see that he is exhausted. He is completely dead. And still is like, yep, I'm in. Everybody else is going, I'm in.
I will defer to you. My vote will be whatever yours is, Prince Savannah.
Zach turns and goes, that's not how voting works,
That's
man.
not how this is going to work. we all decide.
I abstain until Prince Savannah votes.
That is technically how voting works.
She's gonna deep and keep looking around. Maitea, Kamren, Dylan.
I must see to Yum Yum. But if you need me, I will be there. But my vote would be to stay with him. Kamren looks up to Savannah. He nods for each.
Dylan's gonna turn and say, "It was already the plan. Stick to it."
She's gonna look at Aximili and she's going to stare him dead in the eyes and not say anything.
It does not seem that my vote matters, Prince Savannah. It is already 3-2.
I would like your input.
I would go wherever my comrades go. And you see all of the eyes look around to the other Humanimals, and then back to you.
Okay, so I guess we're trying this thing.
How long do we have?
We have tonight.
What time?
I'm assuming until this meeting is over, which Xander is supposed to be at right now. And the only other thing we have at our disposal is he did offer for Craig to come with us.
No. Fuck that guy.
I'll let him see it firsthand. Let him make the decision.
Can we take a crystal with us so if he changes his mind, he can, actually do something?
Kamren looks to Zach. I understand what you mean. Fuck that guy. And then he'll look back to Dylan and Savannah. If you saw what he did in there, they won't be able to touch us if he could hurt them.
He can't hurt them. I think he could be a shield, but he can't hurt them.
It sounds beneficial to us, no matter who he is.
I did see what he did. I mean, that's what we need. It's not pretty, but it's better than us falling down every 10 seconds and then crawling our way back up only to fall down again. How many times did you fall, Kamren? Today. How about you, Dylan?
Dylan just looks down.
Like a fucking lot. I know, I watched. He didn't. Not once. That's why fuck that guy. So, I don't know. If he can come to, prevent us from falling, fine. But if he's gonna fucking nanny us every time we're trying to hit somebody, if there's bad guys in between us and what we're trying to do, we gotta take out the bad guys. That's how it works. I don't like it either. I don't want to be doing this. It's your call, Van.
I think Savannah's going to look at Aximili and Maitea. Kind of a self-depreciating smile on her face and just go, what about the opinion with some of that Andalite brain power?
They look at each other, and Maitea kind of nods to Aximili, who looks back and says to you, the opinions of a shield do not matter as long as they can stop arrows.
She's going to call Craig over then.
Him and Xander were kind of talking, and they had a muted thing around them too, but you guys can see them, and it looked pretty heated. Their holograms were getting a red tint to them, but as you say that, he looks over and he'll walk over.
Craig, if you come with us, can you act as a shield? Protect us? I won't ask you to do anything else, but stop us from getting hit.
And don't stop us from hitting.
She nods.
Yes. I will protect you as long as you are trying to stop the Yeerks. And as much as I don't like it, I still have my programming the way it is. I will not hinder you.
Craig, if you want to go ahead and lock down the enemy and just leave a path for us to the Kandrona, we don't have to hit a single person.
Give me a persuasion check.
I don't know if Zach could potentially help with that, but I would like to.
Yeah, do you have a way that'll help?
I'll add, or you could even just hide us. Like, you could make it so we're not even visible, dude. We wouldn't even have to fucking morph.
Savannah, you can have advantage on that. I will not be able to clear a path for you.
Don't have to clear one, just have to leave one.
I will do my best to shield you from any harm as we go.
How about shielding us from sight? You can do that.
Give me a persuasion check, Zach.
I'd love
Because
to.
he just has one caveat to this.
How about a 19? Is that...
That does convince him enough that he does agree to it, but he says, I could do that. However, if you all take any aggressive actions towards anyone, I will cease to do that. Wherever we are right then. I am subverting my programming to do this because I do believe that you all will, in fact, cause harm to people once we get in there. That is what all of the statistics and logistics in my head say. But if you all tell me that you won't, I will help in this way.
Your programmers were really bad at figuring out how to calculate statistics, man. How many fights have we gone to where we were invisible?
I do not know.
Oh, fucking weird that you don't know that number, and yet you're trying to calculate statistics about a possible thing where we're invisible?
Yes, that is because I believe that your once...
Are you Mr. Statoric? Is your hologram, do you have a Mr. Statoric hologram that you teach stats and you're like really fucking bad at it?
I do not.
Oh, that's wild, because like he could be related. Is there another one of y'all that does that?
Another
He
cheat.
like looks at Van and... Yeah, no, yes, of course, another cheat.
Dylan's head is like, she's fucking snapped over to Savannah. She's just like, big eye, just staring her down like, girl.
Like, I feel like Savannah was about to step in and be like, okay, Zach, we're gonna, say that. But then as soon as he started in on Mr. Statoric, there was just a moment of like, fucking, it's the worst night ever. And now he's bringing up Mr. Statoric, and this is
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Was she just, after he said that, she just let him go, and she's just standing there like waiting to see what happens here. Because if Craig admits he's Mr. Statoric, he's not fucking coming on the mission tonight.
No. First of all, you know too much. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a continuation of like, okay, so you don't want to kill anybody, so you had that possibility, and then you like back down from that because you're a fucking pussy. That's fine. But also, like, you don't want to even hide us from the possibility of us getting hurt when that would cause zero harm to anybody. Cool. Why would we have to do any fighting at all if no one knows we're there? How many doors could you open? Oh, is it all of them? I'm pretty sure it's 100%. Check my stats, Van. I think it's 100%. All of the doors? Is that right? You could also put up invisible holograms around the bad dudes so that we don't even have to fucking see them. They don't even need to know we're there. All of these are options for you, right? Zach will let him have a breath.
The calculations are not that you all would have a better success rate if you were invisible. The calculations are there's an 83% chance that something will not go your way and you will attack to overcome the situation and come out of stealth.
So you're saying you're going to do your job badly. So why would you come with us?
I will shield you.
So you're saying that
There's an 83% chance you're going to not do that right.
There's an 83% chance that you all will stop using the invisibility, is what I am saying.
for what reason?
Because something does not go your way.
If we get attacked, we will act in self-defense, and that is the only time.
That is one scenario.
And do you believe we're going to get attacked when you are shielding us?
So he just looks at you all and he basically repeats what he says. There is an 83% chance
that you betray us.
No.
Or that you drop the shields? Or that you don't shield us good? I'm trying to understand where you're fucking it up here.
He just looks at you all now.
Dylan cocks her head to the side and she's like, it's okay. He doesn't want to come. He's still being just a fucking coward. We should go before we miss our opportunity.
Yeah, facts. Maybe he's just trying to stall us so we can't go do anything. That would actually track pretty well.
Well, here's the thing. If he did come with us, maybe he does want people to get hurt, because if he did come with us, there's a higher opportunity that we won't hurt anyone. But if he doesn't, there's a 100% chance we're going to hurt someone. 100% chance. And
that
probably
we're also going to get hurt.
Exactly. Thank you, Zach. Let's just go. He can just live with his 100% chance instead of 83.
That seems fair.
Cool. Good. Great talk. Thanks, Craig.
I know statistics too.
And that's from Mr. Satorik's class, so that's extremely impressive that she also knows
No.
statistics.
Okay, no. Hey, no, he didn't teach me. Let's not. I taught myself that. Let's not. Don't give him any credit.
No credit to him. It's in spite of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell you. So what? This is what we're gonna do. As we're leaving, Zach's gonna go. You know what? You have free will, right? If you want to lessen the chances of us getting fucked up and us fucking up other people, maybe you just show up and do what you should be doing, the whole fucking time. How about that? We're going though. Bye.
Just to bolster Zach just a little bit, I feel like, especially if anyone has one of those orange crystals laying around, I think Savannah was going to be like, yeah, I mean, with his shield, we could have gotten one of the Andalites to use the programming to dismantle the Kindrona away in a way that was unfixable, but now, and then she'll just kind of gesture to whoever has that crystal.
Oh yeah, there's still like 3 of us that have them. This?
That'll work.
Matea holds up hers.
Oh, even better.
Then Savannah will she's gonna try like a cool move of just like grabbing it and like looking super casual about like a bomb basically that will explode if you hit it too hard.
I'll say, like, as you all show him your things and hit these mic drop moments and everybody starts to walk off, Kamren, like, gets in front of him and just gives him the middle finger as he's walking off.
I've seen that arcane animation before.
Craig does follow, though.
Dylan turns around and, like, walks backwards for a second and is, like, 2 feet behind us at all times, completely fucking silent, and turns back around.
Zach turns around and says, "Hey Alexa, play Keys Be Nights by Streetlight Manifesto," and then keeps walking.
It starts playing out of Craig.
Yeah, good.
What do you guys fucking do?
Morph to bird, man.
Yeah, I morphed to Birdman, actually. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. Yeah.
Make sure you guys are counting down your...
I was just going to say, would that count as a catch your breath?
Yeah, you guys can do catch your breath if you want.
Thank fuck. You can only do it once, right? So you might only use his feet once per day. And I did it in the elevator.
So how many morphs do you have left?
0, my dude.
0?
That was it. This is my last one.
Oh my god, Zach needs to go home.
Zach
Kamren.
loves his friends and is going to be with his friends when they're doing dangerous things. Anyway, Zach is, if not charismatic and perceptive. I mean, I could roll a deception if you want.
Savannah has no reason not to believe you. She asked specifically, she asked for a vote. If you said you were good, she's gonna believe you. I mean, until probably after this. But up until this point, she has no reason to doubt you.
I would argue Van has known Zach long enough. She would know that he's down for anything, whether he should be down or not.
Fuck it, let's
I'm just putting it out there. Like, if you want to, let's roleplay this shit.
Let's roll. PvP rolling. That's what
Now,
all good campaigns have.
Good. I do have advantage on deception, so...
Yeah, I figured you would.
It's only
I figured
17.
you
But
would. And what am I doing? Perception? What am
I guess
doing?
insight. Would it be insight, Austin? You're the DM.
Austin, Is it insight?
Insight.
Austin's like, oh, I thought you guys were doing it.
I don't know enough to know what I'm doing.
Hey,
Oh wait, I have advantage on insight.
you do?
I don't know why I said it. Like if I said it too slow, it wouldn't count because it
Okay.
fucking does.
You, for once, know Zach is full of shit then. And he's dead to the world and should not go. And he's said that he's going.
Can she expand that to the rest of the team too? Like, can she look at fucking Kamren and
Kamren never
Ikea
said
for that instance?
He just said for each. But yeah,
He did.
he's not trying to hide it. He looks pretty tired. And like as he starts to morph to bird, he's like, "Whew, here we go." Starts to morph.
What time of day is it? It's evening? Dusk?
Early evening.
I'm gonna go. I will.
Can Savannah also just like do a quick check on Dylan too and just see where Dylan's at? Like not like physically with the morphs, but like just in an emotional state.
I don't think that Dylan could hide it even if she wanted to. She's not looking great. Like she doesn't look fully there.
I don't think we need everyone for this mission. And she's talking to everybody. Just, I don't think we all need to go.
Okay. I can handle it.
I'll go with him.
Yeah, we got it.
No, I think it can be.
Got Riku.
I think it can be the Andalites and I.
No.
No.
Don't they need to go? They gotta go do stuff.
Savannah, this is private thought. Speak to Savannah. Don't do this. We've all put in the work today. I understand that you wanted to keep us safe as our leader, but this is back what we talked about. You don't get to decide why we all fight. I respect you and I'll listen to you if you tell me to go back, but don't do it just because you're worried about us.
Private back to Kamren. You guys look dead on your feet.
Yeah, better than the whole planet being dead or captured. I'm not going back unless you specifically order me. I won't defy you in front of the group, but don't do this to me.
We have a whole other mission. In just a day, basically.
And we'll take care of that then. It's war. It isn't easy. And if we try to take it easy, we're gonna lose.
All right, let's go. And the last one was just a, like, everybody because of after what Zach said. It's just the minor conversation, sub-conversation with Kamren, and then... All right.
You guys fly to the Windsurf Luxury Hotel on the beach in Ocean Grove. As you all circle over the Windsurf Luxury Hotel, you look down and see Craig at the entrance, kind of looking up, just waiting for some commands.
You coming up to the top of the roof with us, or...?
With your eyes, you can see he just nods and he walks into like the alleyway. And a couple of seconds later, you see onto the roof. He is behind like this air conditioning unit that's up on the top. And as you all are circling around, you see that there are no guards up here where there were once before.
To the whole team. I guess we're landing on the roof. Does anybody want to stay up and keep an eye out?
Kamren banks down as he drops towards the roof.
Okay, apparently not Kamren.
And so does Dylan.
Okay, apparently not Dylan.
Whatever you need, boss.
All right, can you be the eyes in the sky here? Let us know if anything's incoming.
Aye, aye, Captain. And then Zach is going to thought speak openly, but down to Craig. Hey, make sure that there's a clear landing and demorphing zone for us, please.
He nods. You see a quick shimmer, and with your all's eyes, do all of the birds of prey see on a different spectrum, or is it just the ones that can see through water?
You're talking about like ultraviolet light? Yeah, almost like every bird I'm sure there's an exception, but like basically every bird in existence can see into the ultraviolet light spectrum, and some of them can see into even further spectrums than that. You're just talking about the lens for the water to be able to see through refracted lenses.
Okay, yeah, pretty much. So, but you all do see this hologram expand, and yeah, you all see where it's covering now. And there's a space for you all to land and demorph. That's where Kamren hits first, since he went down there first.
And then Dylan.
Zach is banking around the blind side of the hotel, where like we didn't see when we were coming in. Just checking inside windows, trying to count bodies, looking for any details that he can give.
Roll a perception check.
Man, owls are terrible at that.
They're so good at that. And your hearing too. Don't forget to use your hearing.
This owl is terrible at that.
And don't forget to use your hearing too.
I did.
You hear there was a car crash in front of the windsurf, and now there's horns honking, and you hear that, but nothing inside the building.
Wow. So no, someone ran the plot into the building.
I'll say, as you kind of circle, you're trying to like pick out anything that looks unusual in the different windows, and I mean, you do see people walking around in here. It's just nothing looks too unusual.
No walking salad shooters.
No.
Cool.
The rest of you finish demorphing. Craig says, I believe Xander said the entrance is 3 levels down from here.
I'm assuming there's a stairwell on the roof sort of thing that we can see. Okay, cool. And yeah, I think before Savannah turns to head for that, she's going to look at Craig and just be like, you're going to keep cover on us, right? As we walk.
Yes. From Zach's perspective, as you're still listening for everything and you start to fly up a little bit higher, you could hear your friends talking, and then everything just dampens. As you like fly back up and look, you can see the hologram still that's around them. You see it's like a cone just around their group, and they open the door to the steps and start to walk in.
Before they do, I am going to private thought speak to Van. He has actually hidden and muffled everyone, so you should be okay. Don't deviate from his side too much, because it looks like it's pretty tight around him. Like, kind of, 10-foot radius, 20-foot diameter.
You'll see Savannah just like very slightly not, like she's trying to acknowledge it without letting on that like you've just said anything to her. You'll see her turn to everybody else and just be like, all right, everybody, like stick super close, and we're still sneaking, we're still being quiet. And you can probably like you can read lips, can't you, with one of your feet?
I can, in fact.
Yeah, so you would see her say all of that. Keep super close, and this is still like, this is a sneak attack. We are being quiet and we are moving as quickly as we can.
Okay. Zach's continuing to search for any signs in the sky. I mean, hidden bug fighters or anything like that flying around, helicopters, anything that's weird.
You guys move down the steps, 1 floor, 2 floor, 3 floor, and you get to blue floor, 2 floor, a new floor. And you guys get to a door.
And then a 2-door, and then a 3-door.
And then a more door. Can we go through the door, man? What is this? What kind of fucking trap is this?
It's locked.
Savannah will just turn to Craig and just say, does the hologram extend past this door a little bit?
They can only see my hologram with direct line of sight. So no, I can't make it go past the door, but once the door is open, I can change what they see.
She's gonna straight up old school, put her ear up to the door. Fuck it.
You hear some voices. You can't really make out what they're saying. But there's like muffled voices. They're not right next to the door. They seem minimum 5 feet away.
Gap under the door?
Mm-hmm.
Deep sigh and morphing sounds. Just about the sort of inconvenience of it all.
As you start morphing, Kamren nudges Aximili, who looks at him and then thought speaks to you. Should we morph as well?
No, I'm just going to cockroach so I can see what's on the other side, and then I'll let you know. And I think we could just use your tail blade to slice through the door if that's all right.
Yes, let us know if you need assistance.
What floor are you on?
The third one down.
Sounds like it's about 20, because it's a big one. It's a big hotel, so...
It's like the 17th floor is like what you're... Yeah, great.
Okay, cool. So third one from the top. Got it, thanks. Zach kind of spirals down. He now does just a big turn around the outside of the building, looking in those windows.
Roll me another perception check. I'll say with advantage because you kind of know where you're looking now.
I got an 8 as an owl, so...
As you circle around the third floor down, you can see in, but you don't see anything that looks suspicious. It looks like there's a conference room on one end, and then like the halls are just rooms, and then on the other end is another conference room. And that happens every other floor.
When you say rooms, you mean like regular ass hotel rooms?
Like hotel rooms, yeah.
So when Zach doesn't see anything, he's going to thought speak back to the team and go, yeah, I can't see anything out of the ordinary in any of these windows. What side of the building are you on?
We're still in the stairwell, which should be like a vertical 10-foot shaft straight down.
Okay, but like, are you going northward or eastward?
We're still in the stairwell.
We are in the northern part of the building going to the south, Aximili says with his keen mind.
Dylan chimes in and she's like, no, we're... hold on, wait. Up and down, different from north and south.
At the same time, Kamren and Aximili both go, yes. No.
Are they even in Morph? This is like, are we having this argument in the stairwell? Like, like Zach is asking questions and we're like within the stairwell degrading into just like...
I forgot.
Because Savannah should be, I think, mostly cockroach by now, so she can at least...
Aximili can thought speak everybody else, and Zach can thought speak everybody else out loud.
If they gave me a side of the building to look out for, I'm going to concentrate that and try really hard to be looking through the windows.
Did, right?
Mm-hmm. Savannah's fully cockroach. What's she doing?
Crawling under that door, looking around, seeing what's in that hallway, crawling up a wall, crawling on a ceiling, flying around. No, she's just crawling under the door and like checking out what's going on in that hall.
As you crawl in and get under, make a stealth check with advantage. This is going to be against their passives. They aren't going to make checks because they're not actively looking for you.
Alrighty. Okay, it would be 2 more to that, so it'd be 22.
None of the vibrations around you change. It doesn't feel like anybody's moving forward. It's hard to see. You can make out blurs though. I'll say with like an estimate as a cockroach, they're 10 to 12 feet from a door, and there's 2 humans. As they're talking, one of them moves away, but one of them still kind of stays where they are. Savannah, you climb up the side, see one of these blurry figures move into a door and close it, and the other one just kind of standing, pacing back and forth.
And are they behind, like, when you say pacing back and forth, like, is it pacing, like, in the hall into the line of sight of the door, out of the hall, out of the line of, like...
To the north is where the door to the steps are, and he's walking in the hallway that you've just crawled under, like the door that you just crawled under, and it's another hallway in this area. He's just walking back and forth. You know that the sun is setting outside, but there's still there still should be some light shining in, and you don't see any light in this room.
I think that there's a point of this person's pacing where I could call, like, okay, come through the door now to potentially avoid being in that line of sight ever. So she's going to try to line that up to when they are, like, walking into the other space and they couldn't potentially see it. So she'll, like, say, yeah, there's somebody walking in and out of here, but they're walking out of line of sight. So just be ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Dylan, I'm going to say you take lead on this and make a stealth check with advantage. And the DC is set incredibly high already because of the hologram and shit, but not the DC for you all, the DC for them to see you. You're
I was about to say, I
Jesus.
understood what you said after a minute, but I was like, wait, what the fuck are you doing to Dylan?
The way that I almost shat my pants. Okay, here you go. Oh, didn't need to.
She's got to
gotta
get
let her
extra
put
for
one of
double
those-
crit. You gotta
Put
give her
one of
extra
those
for
crits
double
in your
crit.
pocket.
You guys open up the door silently, move in, and everybody is now in the room completely unnoticed. You all start describing to me what you do. I'll start opening up areas until I tell you to stop, and you all get all of that without being noticed. So you guys just start describing to me what you do, and we'll go from there.
Dylan's taking lead, so.
Oh, no. Savannah, you tell me what to do. I'm listening to you. That's how I got so good, is because Savannah was being my eye on the ground wall.
Hall?
Yeah.
Something.
Corridor.
That I think that it's literally going to be like the almost goofy, like they're all moving so tightly to stay under this hologram, but they are looking for where the Kandrona would be. And I feel like that would be a question like, all right, Craig, where is the Kandrona?
Everything's muffled around him, and he starts to talk normally, and he says, there is a hidden room in the middle of this floor. And he like gestures to keep walking towards the south, and you see that there's just a hallway that extends down about another 20 to 30 feet, and you can turn left. There is also a door to your all's left that leads somewhere, but he's not pointing to that door. He's pointing straight south down the hallway.
Then they're going to keep heading that direction.
As you all get down to 30 more feet down, you see a hallway that extends to the left. And as you all are creeping down, you look down that hallway and you see two Hork-Bajir. One of them's red sashed, one of them is not. And as you guys kind of stop there, when you see him, you see a door to the south of you all. Another Hork-Bajir walk around the corner as he seems to be patrolling. There's bathrooms on this most southern wall, like doors that enter it, but the way that this is all set up, you can tell that there's other entrances, other doors on this wall too. Altogether, there's 5 doors along this southern wall. One right in front of you, the next one is a bathroom. One in the very middle, which is another door to an entrance. Next is another bathroom, and then another door.
Okay, but Craig said there was a secret door.
He said there was a secret room, and I'll say he goes and explains it a little bit more to give you the idea of it. The reason it's a secret room is because it's not on like the blueprints. It was built after the fact. He doesn't say like the door is a secret entrance or anything like that. You don't get that idea from him.
Okay, that's the exact idea I got the first time you said it, was that there was like a secret way in.
It's not hidden from the eye, it's hidden from officials.
Right.
But we don't know which one it is the deal ski.
That's what he's telling you. He just knows it's that way, but he doesn't know which door it is.
Savannah's already cockroach, so she will offer to go, but offer up to anyone else. Do we want to get somebody else in one of these sort of stealthy morphs and scout it out quickly?
Can do, Dylan says as she goes spider.
Do you want the rest of us to be ready? Something happens. You know, the 83%.
Just seems really weird when you say it like that. Yeah, I'd like the Andalites to stay in their bodies for as long as they can. Not just for the potential of a fight, but also because if we get to the Kandrona, they can use the technology against them to destroy it instead of having to, explode our way out of here. But yeah, if you can just stay ready.
What about Kamren?
Kamren, if you can just stay ready. For now, maybe we'll need another help searching soon, but for now, just stay ready.
Nuts. All right, yeah, about a minute later, Dylan is a spider.
Ignoring the bathrooms, but zooming under the other door. I think if I don't actually know this is true, but I think cockroaches are faster than spiders, so I think Savannah would head to the far end, furthest door, and check under there.
You're zooming down. You're gonna roll stealth. However, because you're going outside of the area of the hologram, you won't get the advantage.
But do I get advantage because you said the exterior lights couldn't get in here, which I'm assuming is what you wanted me to tell Zach, is there's probably a hologram, blah, blah, blah. But instead of doing that, I'm going to use this against you. Hork-Bajir cannot see well in low light situations. So do I get advantage anyways?
They get disadvantage on their perception checks for that. Roll it with advantage because you're a cockroach, not because you're in a hologram. You scurry, no problem. Dylan, if you want to go to the closer door, if you want to make a stealth roll with advantage, and their DC is really high because you're still in the hologram.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, you guys crawl under these doors. As you guys get in, these are smaller, what looks like break room areas. Like there's a refrigerator, a table, but also something that seems a little bit out of place. There's this big piece of machinery that connects into the wall. It looks like some kind of generator on both sides in both of these offices that you guys go in. There's also Hork-Bajir, one in each office that look like they are working on these pieces of machinery.
Yeah, I think Dylan's gonna... She takes a few little skitters in there, and she's like, oh, I've got some machinery, I've got some stuff here. But I also, it looks like I also have a door that leads toward you, Savannah.
I see machinery in a Hork-Bajir as well, and a door that leads towards you.
Meet in the middle?
Let's meet in the middle.
I'll start walking your way. You start walking mine.
You move into the middle room. What you see in here, there's another Hork-Bajir that seems to be working on mechanical instruments that are in here, connecting wires, removing them. There's a human sitting at a desk on a computer that seems to just be working on there. And in the middle, on the most southern wall, you see a window, and you can see the outside from here, but again, just like the rest of the room, none of the sun is shining in. There's some kind of hologram that's keeping this thing, that's enclosing this area. But the Kandrona is sitting in the middle of the room. Huge, bigger than the ones that you all seen in the Yeerk pools before, the portable ones. This one puts those to shame. It's even bigger than the one you all seen when you used the Aximili device to see the one on the Hork-Bajir homeworld that Pick was messing with.
Dylan to the group is just like, bingo.
So, if one of the Andalites was going to destroy this thing with the computer, how long would that take?
Assuming that we could get right in and there were no complications. The intricacy of the Kandrona programming, 20 minutes at most.
All right, how do we give them 20 minutes?
Hey, Maxman, tell her we could just blow some shit up on different floors, try to get them to run down there. Kamren says that we can blow some shit up on different floors, and maybe that will take them out of this room.
Zach from outside will also say, Craig could potentially contain an explosion so that it only affects the Kandrona and doesn't hurt any of the people in the room. That would probably comply with his programming, but would allow us to just blow the fucking Kandrona up.
Craig looks up to Aximili, who's kind of relaying this back in thought speak, so it's the feelings as well. And he says, I could potentially try that. I can also destroy the Kandrona if I can get close enough to it.
Would you?
As long as there was no one within 20 feet of the Kandrona, I feel that I can contain that.
Did Zach keep any of the crystals that we had with us? I mean,
You guys threatened Craig to use them if he
we sure
didn't.
did.
Yeah.
Craig, how long would that take you if we can get people out of the room?
6 seconds. Oh, he doesn't thought speak. He
No.
can't thought speak. But that was, you all didn't hear what Craig said. That was Aximili speaking it to you. That's why I did the thought speak. Duh.
Get that boy in here.
I'll take that over 20 minutes any day. Zach, can you grab one of the crystals? Oh, by the way, I don't think you can see in here because there's a hologram all around this floor. Would you be able to grab one of the crystals from the roof and maybe make an explosion somewhere where no one is? Different floor.
Yeah, totally. How about the roof? I'll just draw them all out here, and then...
Craig, in your destruction of the Kandrona, would you also be able to knock down the hologram to the outside so that we could have an escape route?
Yes. He says yes. He also says that he could make you all engulf you in his hologram again if you would prefer that. Either way. Kamren said he's being a real douche and just as always. He told him that.
Privately to Savannah, Zach is going to say, listen, if I'm drawing the bad dudes out and Craig is doing everything else, I don't see any reason everyone else has to be in there. Get everyone else to the roof, morph birds, and get the fuck out. And then we'll blow up the roof and draw people out. I mean, why are we risking our people?
I think just to make sure that Craig does what he says, I just don't trust him enough to still do it. So I think you're right, we could get most people out of here, but I still want to make sure that he does what he says he's going to do.
Yeah, okay. Zach would like to try to fly around and listen for the sound of a Kandrona, but I'd like to try to figure out where this thing is.
Or even the heat. Like, if it has a heat signature, you'll be able to feel that, like, in thermal.
Yeah, I could potentially throw a crystal at the side of the building and blow it up from out here.
Roll a perception
That's
check.
what Zach's thinking. I haven't thrown that at the group yet, but if I can locate this motherfucker, I'm gonna do that.
Let's
How's a
fucking
nat 20?
go.
Is that good?
Yes.
Is that good? I want to make. Can I do it with it?
You're looking around trying to find anything to give you any kind of inkling where they are, and the windows all look the same. You can't even spot any kind of, like, they told you there might be a hologram keeping it all in. You can't even spot the different molecules difference or whatever in the UV light, but you hit an extremely powerful thermal as you fly around the building and you shoot up. And I'll say, yeah, Zach knows enough about electronics that knows they give off heat. You know that no amount of human technology gives off that much heat without melting things, so this is special somehow.
Sure. Now that I've got the location nailed down, can I spot if the wall, I mean, does the wall look like is regular wall? Like it would blow up if I tried to blow it up?
So, like, what you see is the glass windows outside. You finally do notice the UV particles in some of the windows, and it's only blocking off, like, the middle part.
Okay, update. So, I'm 100% sure. I'm 83% sure that I've found the location of the Kandrona from outside. Like, I can tell which wall this is at. I'm thinking maybe like a 2-stage thing. Like, I could throw a bomb at the roof or at the wall. I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking I could probably blow the wall up from the outside. Truly, that would be helpful in some way.
Maybe after Craig does this, I want to use that 6-second timer and that contained area.
Heard. Okay. So I'm gonna grab 2 of these crystals with the intent of potentially using both.
Okay.
First one's gonna go hit the roof here in, I don't know, how long do you want? And that, like, Zach's already powering up towards the roof to get it.
She's quick thought speak back to, like, Kamren, Aximili, Maitea, Craig. Are you guys ready to go if Zach causes a distraction?
Kamren is morphing now. Maitea, I am ready. He looks like he's going to polar bear. Is this what you wanted?
No, we should be getting ready to get out of here, if anything.
Yeah, bird, dude. Bird. Go bird.
He's demorphing now, but he let out a loud sigh.
All right, tell Craig to be ready. Zach is about to hit the roof.
On your mark. You say.
Have at it, and we'll let you know if these people get out of here.
Zach's gonna ride the thermal from that Kandrona as high as it'll take him. And then I'm assuming an owl can fucking drop something with pretty delicious accuracy. So I'm gonna smash it right into the middle of the roof.
You shoot up super high, start to dive down, let go of the crystal as you pull up, and it just explodes.
I am going to peel off towards the side of the building that's got the Kandrona and wait for any updates. And I'm just gonna, I mean, I'm sure you all heard it, but go.
As you all feel the building just rattle, the Hork-Bajir in here kind of like looks towards the human looks back, and it takes off towards the door Outside, Kamren and Aximili, Matea, and Craig all see the Hork-Bajirs in here kind of do the same thing and start to move towards these steps. This human controller moves here and looks out the door.
And they're staying in the door?
The human is, yes. The Hork-Bajir are still moving.
Are there locks on these doors?
There are locks on them, but they lock from the outside, so it looks like anybody that was inside just unlocked them and went out.
Then I have an idea. I'm thought speaking to the whole group, but Craig, I'm addressing Craig. Craig, can you patch their PA system or something and announce in this room that there are Andalite bandits on the roof? And all hands. Asking for all hands.
He says if he can get to something that connects to the BA system, he can do that.
Okay, I kind of thought he could just do it. Cool.
Do you all see any computers?
There's a computer in here with us.
Yep.
He says that he could use that if he can get there.
Come on in. There's one human in here. And, like, Savannah will relay, like, what she can see in here.
With you relaying everything, Zach's idea, Dylan spotting the computer, you guys eventually see Craig and Matea and Kamren and Aximili stay in this hologram and move into the room. Craig gets on the computer, and not even a second later, you hear over this windsurf hotel's PA system. There are Andalites on the roof. All controllers move to the top floor. All controllers. And everybody's eyes move to this woman that's standing in the door as she waits and looks out, a look of fear on her face. She runs out of the door. Craig looks to all of you and he says, "Get out."
100% chance I'm on my way.
As everybody scatters and moves out of this room, you all are still kind of looking in these doors as you see this red laser.
You want a hole?
And as you say that, Zach, need a hole, you just see out of the place you knew the Kandrona was, a red beam just shoot out. The hologram just flickering and is off, the window shattering behind it. And all of you watch as Craig stares at the Kandrona, this big, huge metal sphere in the middle of this hotel room. Solid stream of red light shoots into the Kandrona. The metal starts to heat up, and it's heating and heating, glowing.
Who's my ride? Who's my ride?
Cameron's your ride.
Come on, Kamren.
Kamren puts his hand down, and as you like crawl into it, he just takes off down the hall. You see the tailblade of a Hork-Bajir go up the steps, and Cameron's kind of following right after that. Matea and Aximili behind him. Aximili stops and looks and sees Savannah's cockroach body on the other end of the hall, runs down that way to pick her up, and like as he's running, he shoots his tail blade down, and like this razor thin blade goes underneath your cockroach legs and lifts you up into the air as he's running with this tail blade. His eyes look back over his shoulder. We see this red beam shoot and heat up the Kandrona, and as it starts to meld in and push, like melt into itself, and this shockwave hits Craig. As you're still running, he's like starting to move towards you all, but his eyes glow and do the, and he starts like convulsing. The eyes turn red. There is a huge explosion. The shockwave shoots out past you all, knocking the Savannah cockroach off the end of the tail blade into the air. And as you land on the ground, you look around and everything seems still for a moment. And then the air in front of you forms a crack and splits. And you see the cosmos behind you. Zach, as you're flying around, the shockwave hits you and you kind of tumble end over end. And as you fall, you see the space below you. And the cosmos just shoot out at you. As you all watch reality around you fracture and crack and break, a bright white light engulfs you all again. And Savannah, as a human, you drop into the grass. Look around. You're in a forest, a jungle.